Hi everybody, Jackson here. Welcome back to Weekly Endeavours for the 19th of May. So, we've got a 275 steel stat, world bosses, group dungeons, and 50 fish. Now, all of these are pretty similar in how long they will probably take, but there are some things to keep in mind with each of them. They have their own advantages and disadvantages. World bosses and group dungeons you can do without any, investing any resources in them. But I think catching fish is definitely going to be quicker, especially if you already have the bait for catching the fish. But these two here are instants, this one is not. The biggest problem you're going to have with world bosses is waiting for them to respawn, especially if you're just going to do one at a time, because it's going to mean that this one I think is the slowest. I think this is going to be slowest compared to group dungeons, definitely. But yeah. So I'll go through each of them. Firstly, I'll start with group dungeons. A few things to keep in mind here. You want to choose basically what you... I wouldn't just do group dungeons if you're going to do this. I would try and do them and while doing something else, getting something else as a reward at the same time. And the two things are, with the Golden Pursuit, there are a bunch of dungeons you can do here, and then pledges as well. So when you complete pledges, you get keys, and you can use the keys to spend on the shoulder coffers, and that's how you get the different shoulders. I would say that's worth it, especially for the easier dungeons, the two Major Regarth pledges and Glirians. The DLC ones are tougher. I mean, the normal DLC ones are not too bad, and you still get keys, like pretty good keys for those for how quick they can be. But I think that's going to be slower than just doing 7 lots of the normal versions of the ones in the Golden Pursuit. But if you've already done those, you might as well skip them. But yeah, those are the only things I do. Either pledges, do any of these that coincide with the ones you still need to do, or just do Fungal Grotto 1 7 times in a row. And just keep in mind that when you complete Fungal Grotto 1 on one character, you're going to have to wait a few minutes for it to reset the instance, because it doesn't just let you do it straight away. If you have another player you can group with, and you want to do it together, or there is a way you can actually reset dungeons instantly. If you group up, and as the party leader, change the dungeon mode here from veteran to normal, it will actually reset the instance, or normal to veteran. But I wouldn't do it on veteran to this endeavor. But you can't do it on your own. This does nothing if you're not in a group. Only if you're actually in a group. So keep that in mind. Is there anything else? Not really. So, the Golden Pursuit video, I did all of these dungeons here as quick as I possibly could on a Nightblade. If you want to see basically the quickest ways to do all these dungeons, the quickest is Fungal Grotto 1 by far. But I did do a run through of each of these on there. So I will link that video here, and I suggest you watch that video if you want to know how to do these ones quick, because I speedrun those things as quick as I can in normal on my own. But I feel like, because I did all that, I feel like I'm just repeating myself by just doing it all again. So I was gonna suggest you watch that part of the video. I'll make sure the timestamp is there as well, so you're not watching the whole thing. So yeah, that's what I suggest there. But yeah, Fungal Grotto 1, definitely the quickest by far over here. Easiest way to get here if you haven't been here already. I assume most people have. But there is a house you can get here called Kragenholm, this one. Find it on home tours, travel there, and then travel up here, unlock this, and then you'll be able to travel here from any way shrine in the game. So from that point, it's easy to use. Alright, so now I'll chat about dungeons. I'll chat about world bosses. Okay, so world bosses. World bosses are these icons here. They are bosses that are quite tough. They're supposed to be done with a group. They can be done solo, but with this weekly being as it is, the odds of you being on your own for these ones here, the easy ones to reach, is probably going to be quite low, because everybody else is going to have the same idea. So that is one advantage. You can just rock up with a low-level character and you'll probably be okay. That being said, it's not always the case. Sometimes you do have to fight these on your own. The only thing you really need to make sure you don't get absolutely wrecked by these things, because some of these can be quite tough. I find Western Overlook to be quite tough on your own. Just make sure you have a heal, and make sure you can just keep casting it. Apart from that, just make sure you have it's good to have like things that heal you while you deal damage. That's why I like sorcerers. But basically, you most of the time you'll be spending with this one is waiting for it to respawn. Also, if you're on your own, companions can also help. Getting like a tanky companion that absorbs damage for you or heals you can be really good. Why is she blocked out? Probably because I got the quest already. So there's a lot of world bosses that you can look at. Western Overlook is the one that's like the closest possible world boss to a way shrine, especially that you start with. That's the thing. So even if you haven't seen this world boss before, this way shrine is unlocked by default, so it's very easy to get to. Some other ones that I sometimes use, these two, cut the fountain. This one here next to a way shrine over here, and then this one over here next to this way shrine. What I like to do is I kill this one, come over here, travel from there to there, and then travel to this one, kill this one, and then repeat the process. So that way you're killing 2 world bosses at the same time. You can try and push it further and try and go 3. You could try Shivering Shrine. It just depends on how many people there are. Sometimes, if there's too many people waiting at these 2, they can die too quickly before you can actually get participation. Oh yeah, here we go. So, you don't have to... You can just kind of heavy attack and get enough participation. The good thing about world bosses as opposed to delve bosses, I would much prefer world bosses over delve bosses, is you don't have to worry about like attacking it immediately. They won't die in 2 seconds like delve and public dungeon bosses do. They take a while to kill, so that is one advantage. But now, the biggest issue, especially with this one, where there's none nearby, is that you're going to have to wait for this thing to respawn, and it can take about 5 minutes. So, yeah, that's why I say these 2 are going to be quite slow, because this one, unless you have lots of characters that can do Fungogoto 1 super quick, you're going to be waiting for the instance to reset, and for this one, you're going to be waiting for the boss to respawn. So sorry, as I was saying, the other good option, I think, is traveling between Lesser Circle to this way shrine and this way shrine to Lost Caravan. So you can just do these 2 over and over. You could also try Giant Camp at the same time, but these 2 I find are also quite packed with players. So, I mean, the main issue is that they're just going to die too quickly for you to be able to get back and forth to all of them in time. But if there's nobody there, consider that. And the last one is Green Shade with these 2 world bosses here. These ones are literally right next to each other. Like, you can ride around a mountain and get to each of them in about 10 or 20 seconds. So these 2 are also great. The only thing is there's not a way shrine super close to them. If you want access to these 2, there is a house over here called Boulder Tree Refuge that you can use in Home Tours to get to it easy. So that's what I suggest. But yeah, I don't like doing world bosses because you're waiting for them to respawn. That's my biggest problem with them. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about fishing. Okay, so what you're going to need first is some insect parts. The reason I go insect parts is there's certain bait types that work for different fishing hole types, and the place I go to get my fish is full of river fishing spots. The reason I like that is insect parts are, I think, a lot easier to get than any of the other ones in mass, but it's a little bit dependent still. There's no true easy way to get them unless nobody else is doing the same thing basically in this one spot. But there are other places where you can get insect parts. It's not like... Because the way to get the other ones mostly is, like crawlers and worms, is to kill zombies or collect like plant nodes, and they're not as plentiful as insect nodes can be. That's generally my consensus there. So what we want to do is come to this location here in Bleakrock Isle. If you haven't been to Bleakrock before, just go to this place on here in Stonefalls, Devon's Watch. Just come down here, go down to the docks, and you're looking for Lysel here. Lysel will take you to Bleakrock Isle, and once you're in Bleakrock Isle, you're just coming over to this side here, to Skyshide Barrow. If you complete the quest here, the skeletons here, they won't be hostile. They'll have yellow outlines, so you can just run around them and not have them become hostile. That can help. So what you're looking for are all these torch bugs here. They'll be flying around these trees. And you just want to go on a mass torch bug killing spree and just collect all the insect parts you can. And every now and then you'll also get some torch bug thoraxes, which you can either use yourself for alchemy or you can sell them for a fair bit of gold. And if you want, you can sell a couple of those and probably get enough to get some more insect parts for later if you don't want to have to run around looking for them. So in my opinion, you want to be looking for at least 80 to 100 insect parts. I know that's a lot, but maybe you can get away with 70, but the issue is that not every fish, like not every insect part will get you one fish. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio, unfortunately. Sometimes you'll get used bait, sometimes you'll get fucking gunny sacks and all sorts of useless shit. So you want to make sure you have more than what you need. So go for 80, I think. At least 70 to like, but I think 80 to be safe. But yeah, you can see there's lots of insect parts here, and you just keep going through this place, and yeah, probably a couple of rounds of this. It'll take like 10 or 20 minutes maybe to get enough. But yeah, it just depends. This isn't the only place you can go to, but this is definitely one of the most torchbug heavy areas in the game. Some other places you can go. I like if you have the Orthenium DLC, the Trader's Roadway Shrine in a circle. Basically, there's just butterflies and torchbugs everywhere. Oh, there's a enemy there. But yeah, those are the only two places I really like. That or buying them on guild stores. Now I'll show you what you're looking for on guild stores as well. They're at 10 or 11 gold a piece if you don't want to be scammed, basically. Yeah, there's more there. So they respawn slowly, but sometimes it can take a while. Yeah, just maybe go look somewhere else. I'll look up and see if there's any other good places to find lots of torch bugs. But I haven't been that successful in the past, really. Miscellaneous, and you're looking for lures. And it's in here. So insect parts, river bait, little bit expensive, but I have a feeling that people will probably bump the price up a little bit because the fishing is going to become a good weekly to do. So yeah, maybe. But yeah, you could also try crawlers as well in foul water, but I find there's the spots that I like to use, they're either river or they're lake. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one. If you want lake, guts is good, but guts is way more expensive per item than insect parts. That's why I like insect parts. Cheap and easy to get in certain locations. Okay, so this is my preferred location for fishing, and even better, there's a couple of torch bugs every now and then that you can grab. So while you're fishing, you can just top up your insect parts a little bit more by grabbing them. There's a few. There's also one up here somewhere, but I think someone's taken it. So yeah, but just look up here somewhere. There'll be another one around here somewhere. These netches also give you guts sometimes, but they don't work on either of these fishing holes. Now, if you don't want to use stone tools, I will link this in the description as well. This is House Tertia's fishing map guide, and as you can see here, they have every single zone mapped out that you can use. So, as an example, I'll just show you Craglawn. So you go into it, and it'll show you a list of all the different fishing holes, and also show you which type they are. So there's lake, foul, river, and saltwater, and they all use different bait types, as I've showed before. So with Stonefalls, this spot down here is what I like to use. Now, as you can see, there's one little foul fishing hole as well, so you want to keep that in mind. But this area is great because it's easy to reach. There's a way shrine right next door, and there's two houses you can use in housing tours to get here for the first time if you haven't been already. So yeah, there's a really easy place all around to use. So what you're looking for is past this big boy over here, past the torch bug. There'll be these flashing spots here. These are river fishing holes, or fishing holes in general. They'll all look like this. So what you do is you hold the interact button there. It'll bring up the wheel with all your different fishing bait types, and you want to select something that is river. So shad or insect parts will work here. And then all you do is just press the interact button. Your character will bring out your fishing rod, and you literally just wait. As soon as your character does a different animation, you press E and you reel a fish in. Well, most of the time. There we go. So press E, and we got a fish small. Now, as you can see, that didn't actually count as catching a fish. That's what I fucking hate about this shit. That's why I say you need to carry more insect parts than 60, because sometimes you get this shit. So this is actually a furnishing item. That's why this isn't working. So furnishing items, gunny sacks, used bait, they won't work. Everything else is fine though. So now we want to just try it again, and yeah, we'll probably get lucky. Now, if you don't use the right bait type, if for example you use lake, like the guts for this, the chances of you getting bait, getting things that aren't fish actually increases. So that's why I suggest getting the right bait type for the hole, because if you don't, you'll have, like, you won't get as many fish, and it just takes longer. That's the thing. So yeah, as you can see, we've got one fish there, so there's progress. We've started. The ground has started. So yeah, you just need to do that 60 more times. These fishing holes will deplete, and you can exhaust them entirely. But when one fishing hole is used up, another one spawns somewhere else. And I haven't ever found a instance here where I've used up a fishing hole and there's been none other ones left in this area here. There's always one somewhere. You just got to look around to find it. And if you can't find any, then you can go to a different zone. Craglawn is a great option, because this wayshrine you get when you get to the first, get there for the first time, Belkarth, it's got these rivers here, and these also have river fishing holes, and then there's also the lake fishing holes over here if you have a lake bait. But yeah, all these rivers here, a lot of them will have some river fishing holes as well, and Vardenfell also has tons as well. I'm pretty sure this area here, like if we I'll just bring House Tertia back up. Yeah, go away, Malvo, I know. So you can see here there's tons of river fishing holes there, river fishing holes there, river fishing holes here, lake ones here. And yeah, you can see with Craglawn it's the same. So you got all these river fishing holes here, and then lake ones over here and here and stuff. So yeah, Craglawn's great. That's all there is to it. Just pressing E, and then when your character does a different animation with the fishing rod, just press E again. Now I'll just show you quickly. If you come through here, as you can see over there, there's another fishing hole here, another one over there, and if you can't find any here, what you can do is come up here, go past the way shrine, up here. No, go this way. Where the river comes up, I think. No, you can't get in there. Now, if you come over this side, as you can see, there's another river fishing hole here. And I think there's another one here. Yeah, there's another one. I think that's it, though. Actually, I'll just check. I'm getting attacked. Yeah, I think that's it. I think there's the two holes there. And it doesn't go any further, but... yeah, check these areas, and then just go back down here and check these areas again. And while you're doing that, just grab torch bugs whenever you see them, and just repeat that process for a while. Yeah, I got 4 fish there in about the time it would take for a world boss to respawn. So it will be, I'd say it'll be about as quick as world bosses. Doing 2 world bosses at once will be quicker, but there's a lot more action involved. This one's just chillax, watch some YouTube in the background. So I think world bosses will be maybe quicker, but I think this one's a lot more convenient myself. But obviously you need the fishing bait. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to say aside from that. So I'll leave that with you. So if you have any questions, as always, just let me know. But yeah, pretty straightforward weekly, I think. Just a little time consuming. Okay. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. I'll see you next time, and take care.